Elderly drivers could be forced to resit driving tests at the age of 65. This comes amid calls for new law changes. Drivers are currently required to renew their licence every 3 years once they turn 70, but a petition calling on motorists to retake their driving test when they reach the age of 65 could be considered for debate after the conclusion of the petition in a few days. This was opened by Dennis Fommins, who called on the government to take action and required Britons to retake their driving test once they reach the age of 65 if they want to remain with a valid licence. The petition will close on the 22nd of February, having ran for almost 6 months, and it has already amassed support from the public. The current rule for drivers means they don't have to take mandatory tests or health checks after obtaining their licence, no matter how old they become, although they are required to inform the DVLA if they are no longer fit to drive. However, at age 70, all drivers must self-certify their fitness to drive and renew their licence, something they need to do every 3 years after. In the petition, Fommins said he travels a lot and sees a lot of older drivers who he believes should not be driving. He said that some misuse turn signals and others have sight issues. He also added that reactions tend to worsen with age. The government currently requires drivers to wear glasses or contact lenses every time they drive and meet the minimum eyesight standard for driving by having a visual acuteness of at least decimal 0.5 measured on the Snellen scale. Steve Gooding, director of the RAC Foundation, offered no support for retesting older drivers, but did support calls for eyesight checkups. The expert had said that one thing that would allow drivers, not just those at an arbitrary old age, to help judge their fitness to drive would be compulsory eye tests when licences are renewed. Many families can and do play their part by having that difficult discussion with an elderly loved one who might need to vacate their driver's seat. Data from the Department of Transport found that older drivers have slower reaction times, and if involved in serious crashes, they are more likely to have failed to look properly than younger motorists. The slower reactions contributed to 30% of incidents in which at least one person was killed or seriously injured on Britain's roads between 2016 and 2021, and this involved drivers over the age of 70. Taking the poll to social media, one user said the petition would force the majority of drivers off the road. He explained that car manufacturers might as well not put people over the age of 65 in a car these days. He added that not using indicators should become the driving offence, and it would make more sense than making older people retest. Another driver posted on Facebook to express his disapproval of the poll and stated, "It's not all older drivers who don't drive well." He explained, "I'm not driving an SUV that I can't really handle or a taxi, which I drive slowly so that I can achieve the maximum fare. I'm also not some nutter who weaves in traffic because I want to treat all roads as a motorway." He said that he had passed his test back in 1977, so he has nearly 50 years of driving experience and was obviously taught well. He added that the main problem is many people weren't taught to drive effectively, and many are lazy drivers or have adopted bad habits. If the survey reaches 100,000 signatures, this petition will be considered for debate in Parliament.